Before we jump in, let me get this out of the way. Yes, I've got a bit of a shiner on my left eye. No, I didn't get into a bar fight. And no, Gary, he didn't hit me. My car did. And from the looks of it afterward, the car won. So if you're wondering what on earth happened to Andy's face, now you know. And believe it or not, there's a little lesson in that story that ties into what Gary talks about today. And I'll get back to that later. All right, let's talk about why we're here. Today, you're about to meet a man whose ideas have changed the lives of millions of people all over the world. Hi, everyone. I'm Andy. I'm welcome to Aging Strong. My guest today is Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, an organization that spans more than 170 countries. Gary has spent decades helping people break through mental barriers, dissolve fear, and create energized, meaningful lives. And here's why I asked Gary on to this channel. Because after 60, the biggest obstacle to staying fit, confident, and independent aren't physical, they're mental. It's the fear of starting, the stories we tell ourselves, the belief that it's too late. Gary dismantles all of that quickly and with humor. And one of his core messages is this: your body talks to you every single day. And when you learn to listen, everything changes. Let's get into it. We start with a moment that surprised even Gary himself. In this first clip, Gary shares a moment that many of us can relate to, waking up, looking at his body, and realizing that something needed to change. But instead of punishing himself or forcing discipline, he does something different. He shifts his attention. He chooses to work with his body instead of against it. This is what listening to your body looks like.
One of the things I did is I woke up one day and I had a watermelon laying on the bed next to me, and I realized that my gut was getting too big. So I pulled my stomach in and I went, okay, body, what would it take for us to be lean, lithe, supple, and defined? And can I have a six-pack instead of a watermelon on the bed? And 6 months, I had a six-pack instead of a watermelon. And it started creating my core energy, as you talked about, without me having to do an exercise to do it. But it was putting my attention on what would create the result that you're talking about getting. And I think you've come up with some great ideas for doing core exercises and stuff. I think that's great.
What I love about that story is how simple it is. Gary didn't start with guilt or frustration. He started with awareness. And that lines up beautifully with 5BX60. You begin with what your body can do today. Up next, Gary shares one of the most powerful ideas in this entire interview. And it's only one word.
I'd say start. What does it take to start the process of changing this? Start. All you do is start. What does it take to start? You have to get out of bed in the morning.
Yeah. Just one step at a time.
One step at a time. One step at a time.
Start. That's it. One step, one choice, one moment. Your body responds. Your confidence grows. Everything begins to shift. Next, Gary talks about something many people never admit, and it's incredibly freeing. Gary says he's not consistent. He doesn't follow rigid routines, but what he does do is stay connected to his body. This clip is a powerful one for anyone who feels guilty for not sticking with it.
It's learning to listen to your body, and it's also doing what your body suggests. There are lots of people who would like what you're offering and see that as the valuable product, and they should do it then. It's like, I'm not good at exercise. Okay. I'm not a consistent person. I don't do anything consistently except be pissed off. But
yeah.
And mostly I'm pissed off when I can't do something.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm not very consistent. And some people are. Some people have that kind of discipline. I don't. So I have to do what's going to work for me instead of work to get what's going to work for me.
That message is so freeing. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be a machine. You need awareness. Awareness leads to action. And speaking of listening to your body, mine yelled at me yesterday when that car door hit me in the face. And trust me, your body knows when something isn't right. Mine did. And it said, Andy, maybe you shouldn't stand that closely next time. All right. Gary shares a story that anyone over 60 can relate to. In this next clip, Gary falls down the stairs. No phone, no one is home, no help. And instead of panicking, he asks the question that changed the way we take every challenge in life. How do I get around this?
Find a way around it. Okay. A barrier is just a barrier because you think it is. It's not actually truly a barrier. How do I get around this? And that was the thing when I fell down on the stairs. How do I get around this? Because I can't get my body up, but I need to get up. So what am I going to do? And I don't have anybody available. There's nobody else in the house, and I'm all by myself, and I left my phone upstairs. So I went, okay, either I have to carry my phone with me at all times, or I have to make this work, and I'm going to make it work.
Yeah.
And you have to realize that you're the only one who can make your life work. You're the only one who can make your body work. And you need to do what's going to work for you and your body, not what somebody else recommends.
That mindset, treating obstacles as puzzles instead of prisons, it's exactly how we keep moving as we age. And that brings us to Gary's final message, which ties everything together. Gary explains you're the only one who can make your body work and the only one that can make your life work. It's not a burden, it's freedom.
I keep doing whatever it tells me. I listen to my body. I like my body. I'm enjoying it. What the hell?
Yeah. Gary listens to his body, and you can too. I'm going to demonstrate 5 simple seated exercises, explain how to do them, and tell you how each one helps your body get stronger. If any movement doesn't feel right, just make it smaller. Your body is the boss. Let's begin. This is the perfect time to show you something simple, gentle, and incredibly helpful, especially if your body has been telling you it's time to move. We're going to do a short chair-based exercise, 5BX60 mini workout, fully seated, very gentle, perfect for beginners or anyone restarting after a break. Let's do it together. This first move is the seated toe touch. I'm sitting tall, feet flat, sliding my hands slowly down my legs, just as far as my body allows, and then coming back up. While I'm doing this, I can feel a stretch down the back of my leg on the lower back. This is one of the simplest ways to keep your back mobile and reduce stiffness. And for people over 60, flexibility here helps in getting out of bed, bending down, walking confidently, and avoiding that tight first thing in the morning feeling. That's why it's the first movement of the 5BX60. It gently wakes up the entire backside of your body. Next is the seated crunch and a forward curl. Sit tall, gently move my chest forward, feel my abs tighten, and then rise back up. I'm not forcing anything, just reminding my core of what the job is. A strong core protects your back, improves posture, helps in balance, and makes everyday movement, standing, climbing stairs, getting in and out of the car, a lot easier. This isn't about six-packs. It's about stability that becomes more important every year of our life. Now the seated Superman. Hands lightly on the hips, and lift my chest gently and move forward, then relax. This wakes up the muscles that support posture, the ones that often get weak from sitting. When these muscles stay strong, you breathe better, walk better, and feel more confident standing upright. The goal of 5BX60 isn't just about living longer, it's living upright, open, and energized. Next is the seated push press. I bring my hands up in front of my chest and gently press upward, and then bring them backward. This keeps the shoulders mobile and the arms strong for lifting, reaching, carrying groceries, handling pots and pans, opening jars. Upper body strength and is independent strength. This simple movement keeps it alive. And we finish with the seated march. I hold the chair lightly, lift one knee and then the other. Small, controlled, comfortable. This gets the blood moving, warms the joints, and builds confidence, especially for anyone restarting exercise. For many people over 60, this is the perfect place to begin cardio. It tells your body we're still moving, we still want to live fully. If that felt good, even just a little, imagine how your body will feel when you do movements like that every single day. And before we wrap up, to everyone who noticed the bruise, thank you for not sending me boxing tips. I'm fine, the car is fine, and I learned something. At 77, I'm still getting into trouble, and I'm still getting out of it. And that's what Aging Strong is all about. Gary Douglas, thank you for sharing your wisdom with all of us. And to everyone watching, keep moving, keep listening, and keep aging strong.